Someone intrepid, someone with energy, someone with industry, as well as time. I'm real solid on the last factor, but the rest of it, well, might do a treatise on simply a list of the subject of important misnomers, how we do not think clearly sometimes because we don't have the language clear enough. So, yes, we can talk about the pro-life movement, which is sort of a victory for an ideology when it's not an accurate description. Global warming is a term that has caused a great deal of trouble for many years because it does not express the urgency, it doesn't express the catastrophic results that we're beginning to see now. And then there's the perfect game. The perfect game in baseball is not a perfect game. It's not a perfect game because a pitcher could pitch a much better game and have a one-hit complete game victory. A pitcher could have a game that is not a perfect game in which he absolutely dominated. A pitcher could pitch a perfect game, so-called perfect game, but there were, say, 5 outs that were smashed balls into the outfield, but were caught, right? Or a couple of great plays were made on balls and therefore hits were robbed. Or maybe the umpire made a mistake and called a pitch that caused a ball that destroyed the perfect game, or called a strikeout that wasn't a strikeout. It was ball 4, which I believe happened in a perfect game that I watched recently, but I can't name it. I'll have to go back and check. So what's a better word for a perfect game? A perfect game ought to be called a 27, because a perfect game is really just when a pitcher faces 27 batters and reaches 27 outs. 27 batters, 27 outs, each and every batter was out. So if a batter reaches base on an error and then goes back to the dugout on a double play, you could still reach 27 outs, but it's not a perfect game. So it should be called a 27 game or something else, a no base runner game. But people like these terms, so they call it a perfect game. So the key takeaway, there's a much better game you can pitch and you don't get the perfect game. But you can be dominating, unhittable, and you're going to win, provided you get one run of support. I've seen that many times, and that's more fun than a perfect game with all of its, tension that I find annoying. The pitcher sits at the end of the bench in the last 2 innings and no one talks to him because they don't want to jinx him. And, the pressure on every fielder not to bobble the ball, that kind of thing. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty good.